Hello, and welcome back. Today we finally got news about Season 3 of AION 2. Now, as always, there are some minor class adjustments and even some bigger things like a personal DPS meter. But you know that this isn't what interests me the most. I'm here for the story and the lore of AION 2, so let's get into it. The big reveal here is Chromite, where you see her demonic side on one side of the mirror and the beauty she was before on the other side of it. On the 8th of April, we get one new expedition, the Corridor of Illusion. Normal mode has a gear score requirement of 3000, hard mode has a gear score requirement of 3500. Now, what's going on here? When the daughter of the High Priestess of Illusion, Reda, went missing, Reda wandered the continent to search for her. She gathered spirits in this corridor and experimented, in the hope that someday she would encounter her daughter in this spirit form. Reda later moved on, but without Reda's control over the space. This place seems to be like a powder keg that could explode at any moment. As it turns out, Reda made a deal with a mirror to obtain happy memories. This seems to be the real reason why Tana has been revived in this puppet form in the first place. The mirror that is mentioned here could be a connection to the mirror that split Chromite. This mirror was even in the first AION game right behind Chromite. The question is this a different mirror? Is it the same one? What being might be behind the doing of these mirrors? We don't know any of it yet. On April 22nd, we get the expedition Island of Blue Breath. This one seems to be the exception and doesn't really have anything to do with Chromite or a mirror. It is about an uninhabited island that was engulfed by Phaphite ore and basically made the creatures on this island transform and infuse them with Phaphite. Well, the boss of this expedition, Alturadon, is actually peaceful and just wants to enjoy his life on this island. One danger remains. If this Phaphite-infused creature would appear on the Devas continent, the powerful Phaphite aura radiating from it would corrupt and endanger the creatures that live there. And we don't really know more about that yet. On May 6th, we get the new Transcendence dungeon, Mirror of Red Love. We do know that Chromite has been fragmented by the mirror, and this version of Chromite is the heart of Chromite that fell in love. An ideal world within the mirror, inside of the palace, Chromite still remains in her most radiant form. That's not all though, as her lover Robston will also make an appearance in this dungeon. Robston initially died in the first AION game during the Nightmare dungeon, where you play as Chromite and in the end kill Kaliga, a corrupt shadow judge. Chromite was born in Altgard, and from an early age she was known for her lovely features. Had that been all to her, she would perhaps not have risen to the heights she did. But in addition to physical beauty, Chromite also possessed a sharp wit and a strong mind. Even as a child, she amazed her tutors and dominated her peers academically. By the time she reached adulthood, Chromite had charmed everyone in Altgard, man and woman alike. She soon learned to make full use of her inherent talents. Before long, her beauty could make others kneel at her feet, where her clever words ensnared them forever. She knew she was better than them all. No one was surprised when Chromite ascended. Chromite quickly stood out among her peers in the temple, and immediately after finishing her training, she was appointed as a Shadow Executor, the youngest ever at the time. And lastly, on May 22nd, we get a new sanctuary raid, the Chalice of Muspel. The Holy Grail or Chalice was already in the first AION game. It was even a quest for Asmodean players. Agnita was a Deva of Flame, who was the protector of the Fire Temple. Lured by the rumors of powerful relics, Chromite tried to take over the Fire Temple. Chromite overpowered Agnetha and sealed her into an object, a chalice. However, Chromite for some reason could not leave the fire temple and remained there since then. An Ilios Deva, then Lavis, who ventured inside the temple, was seduced by Chromite and became the watchdog of Agnetha's chalice for Chromite. This Lavis guy, by the way, was a very special person. Hannet and Lavis grew up together, and as children they dreamed of ascending together and serving the light as partners. But while Lavis ascended, Hannet did not. Nonetheless, they married and became pregnant, but the child was stillborn. At first he kept visiting Hannet whenever he could, but then it just stopped. He couldn't stand Hannet's sadness of losing their child, and instead simply vanished and soon after was entranced by Chromite's charm and passion, and that's why he stayed in the fire temple and acted as the watchdog of Agnetha's chalice. Now, many years later in AION 2, the chalice or grail has shattered, and that energy of this chalice was absorbed by a creature called Caldrix. Apparently this creature endlessly absorbs the energy of fire and all the energy of this holy grail. And if it manages to absorb it all, the world itself will be on the crossroads of destruction. Now, I don't know about all of that, but as you can see, all of these dungeons have to do with Chromite and the mirror, or the chalice in this case. At this point, I can't really give you a big lore reveal. I can only tell you what we know up to this point from the first AION game, and now from the description of AION 2 here as well. There will be a more detailed coverage of Season 3 in the next official AION 2 livestream that happens next week. But we probably won't really get much lore news, it will be more gameplay related. As soon as we learn more about the lore, I will definitely cover it in more detail and remake my video that covered the story of Chromite, from the beginning of the first AION game up to the new happenings in AION 2. Now, the entire story of Chromite is very mysterious and interesting. I do really hope that they play into it for those reasons, and not just because Chromite has been such a popular character in AION. Because that could also be the case, where they simply include Chromite because she was so popular in the first game, and now also add this cute and beautiful version in bright pink of her to appeal to even more people, not just the people that know her from the first AION game. It would be a shame, but I guess we will have to wait and see. And the best news about all of this is we have no further mentions of Bakarma. You have no idea how happy I am that we are not having another dungeon of this boring guy. I'm still all for Sataloka in Eltnan. I'm gonna make such a long rant video if they don't include him there. He deserves it way more than Bakarma. Anyway, that's about it. Let me know what you think about all of this. See you next time. Bye.